If your home is sitting on the market and it's not selling, it's usually because of something you can fix. This video is going to be talking about why your home is not selling. Just to introduce myself, my name is Krishan Harris. I'm a real estate agent and broker in Chicago and also in the Kansas City market. I help home buyers, home sellers, and I help renters as well. So in this video, I want to talk about if your home isn't selling, why it isn't. And I first want to get out of the way some of the more obvious reasons why your home may be not selling and some of the things that people don't often think about with their homes. So first, the most obvious reasons why people's homes aren't selling is price. Even though price is the most obvious reason, it is so often the case that that's why people hear it so much. You can have the best marketing, you can have the best condition, the most updates, and the wrong price will not attract buyers. That's just the truth. Buyers shop at price points, they search online, they're comparing their options, and your home has to be priced to be the obvious choice for buyers. There are some markets where you can overprice a little bit and get away with it, and then there's some markets that are not as forgiving. So, I talk to sellers, I tell them what's going on in their specific area, in their neighborhood. When there's a lot of active listings and there's more competition and the days on market's higher, buyers are less forgiving of the wrong pricing strategy. Whereas if everything is selling pretty fast, multiple offers, there's a lot of demand, not a lot of listings, you can sometimes get away with a overpriced listing. But in general, pricing is super key. The second thing that's pretty obvious, people think about this all the time, is just the condition of the home. Part of working with sellers, what I do is we walk through the home and we tell you different things you can do to improve it, to make it sell for the most money possible and really attract the most amount of buyers. Buyers generally want a home that's move-in ready, that's already been improved and maintained, and as little work as possible for them. And so having that move-in ready product means you have the most amount of buyers that want your home. Doing things like touch-up paint, updates in the kitchen and bathrooms, cleaning your gutters, having the AC and furnace serviced, all the little things you can do to improve the presentation, improve the condition, that opens you up for the most amount of buyers that are going to want your home. Now, the next couple of things aren't as obvious. These are things that can still hurt the sale of your home, but people don't often talk about. So one of the things that I see time and time again is the property is difficult to show. So I always tell sellers it is a good idea to be as flexible as possible with showings, getting people into the house. So if you only have certain times, let's say you're only allowing showings from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and a lot of buyers wait until when they're off work around 5 or 6 to go show houses, you're eliminating a lot of buyers. And they can go over the weekend obviously, but they might buy another home during the week because they may not wait to see your home over the weekend. It's always good to be as flexible as possible with showings, allowing people to get into the house, approving showings quickly, being easy to communicate with. And sometimes that's the agent, sometimes that's the seller. And one of the things that I do with properties that can be difficult to show, sometimes there's a tenant in the house, it's a renter occupied home and there's a tenant in the home, or sometimes it's just sellers that can't be out of the home a lot. And so we will try to do open houses and try to funnel as many of the showings to the open houses. So if I have a seller that really doesn't want to do any evening showings after 5 o'clock, we'll try to see if we can at least do 1 or 2 in the week, maybe a Tuesday and a Thursday or a Friday. We limit it to an hour and a half, whatever, and try to funnel as many showings to that as possible, because our goal is we don't want to miss buyers who still want to see the home, but we still want to respect that it's difficult for you to show it. The next thing that people don't think about, and this applies more to condos than with single family houses, but that is the HOA. Sometimes the HOA dues create a situation where even cash buyers that aren't concerned with the mortgage, they're still concerned with their property taxes, the HOA, the insurance, and the holding costs of the properties can become something that's a problem for a lot of people. The other thing that I see sometimes is if the building's going through any litigation, if the building is mostly rentals and not a lot of owner occupants. There can be all kind of different reasons why it can't maybe go FHA and you can only do conventional buyers. Sometimes it's considered a non-warrantable condo, and so it requires more money down, special financing, and there's always solutions in general. Usually the solutions do come at a cost to the seller. A lot of times the solution looks like offering credits to offset some of the expenses of maybe a special assessment, offering to do a rate buy down to make it more achievable for people who want to buy the property. One of the things that I see a lot with condos is if there's been a special assessment or the dues have increased a lot, you will see a lot of different units go for sale in that building as a result. And when there's so much competition within one building, it makes the properties difficult to sell. So what becomes the unfortunate reality is you generally have to be the most competitive priced property to get your property sold. These are things to think about if you're trying to sell your home. The thing that I talk to sellers all the time as we go through just what it takes to get a home sold, and what it really comes down to is your home needs to stand out as the obvious choice for buyers. So if a buyer is searching at a certain price point and they're looking for a property like yours, how does it compare? So if you're the highest price of everything similar, it's not the obvious choice. If you are similar in price to everything, but you have the most updates or the highest floor, the best views, those can make your home the obvious choice. So those are the conversations that I have with sellers that hire me about how to make your home the obvious choice and how to get it sold. So if you are a home seller, a homeowner in Chicago or even in Kansas City, you're looking to sell your home and you need a great agent who's going to give you the most honest feedback, the most honest advice that's going to get your home from listed to sold, you can give me a call, send me a text, or send me an email, and I'm always happy to help.